Hello and welcome to Love Anything Art. Today I will show you how I made this fun little cuff bracelet. I'll begin by using some black clay, and just so you know the brand and type, this is it. Basically just begin by rolling and conditioning your clay. While I'm doing that, I do want to take a moment to thank everyone who is tuning into this video and who has supported my channel and watched all of my wonderful, funny, great videos. I really do appreciate it. I just wanted to let you know that. For anybody who is new here, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It really does help my channel out. Please leave me a comment. I do reply to all comments. And, of course, I post videos every Tuesday. This is my black clay rolled out. You can make it as thin or as thick as you would like. I prefer it to be a little bit on the thinner side. And all of the wonderful, beautiful scrap clays. I organized my box a while back and put all of the color combinations together. Purples, greens, and all those wonderful oranges and blues and all that. I got it organized, put it into these baggies. And it's keeping it cat hair free. But anyway, I'm just going to choose a color that I like. And I am going to choose purple because I thought purple and black go wonderful together. And this is actually a pattern from a previous video. And I will leave a link in the description box below if you want to check out this pattern. Chop up your scrap clay, whatever color you use. I'm leaving it in rather large chunks, I would say, but you can experiment and make them really thin or small pieces, or go for a bit thicker of a cut. Whatever you do, just make sure you break up all of the pieces so that they're not all clumped together and you have a nice variety of color. And to add a little bling to my jewelry, I'm going to use some of this silver leaf. Totally optional, but I do think that it gives it a nice little something. You can use all of your little itty bitty pieces, or you can use a large sheet, whatever you want, as much as you want, as little as you want. Just mix it up. You do want to make sure that you still have a lot of your clay colors showing. The silver leaf is just basically kind of an accent. I have it all mixed up, and now I'm going to place it on my black clay. For ease of rolling, I will cut down my black clay into a rectangle shape. And then place all of my scrap silver leaf clay on top, just being sure to spread it out and cover as much of the black clay as possible. So you just want a nice thin layer. Once you have that all pressed into place, just firmly start pressing it into place. You can use your roller. Go ahead and give it a nice roll. Then gently pry it up from your workstation. You could also put it on a piece of paper before rolling. And then just gently start rolling it up, starting on one of the thinner ends. Just roll it up, being sure to not get too many air bubbles inside of there. Just nice and gently roll it up. And it actually kind of looks cool just like this. That would be kind of cool to maybe cut it and just place it on a piece of clay, and then you can cut out shapes. I don't know. It'd be kind of fun to experiment with it at this stage. But I am going to roll mine, get all those pieces connected, and this makes a really pretty rose. So if you want it to stop here and just slice it and use this, you can. But I really just wanted to play around with my clay, so I just started chopping. I decided to cut this into wedges. It's like one of those Bob Ross paintings where you're like, don't put that there, Bob. You're gonna ruin it. And then, you know, it turns out beautiful. Well, I kind of hope that's what's happening here. But anyway, just cut it or not cut it and enjoy me cutting it for a few seconds. And that's actually kind of a pretty pattern too. You could slice that and do something with it or use it in this project. But I'm in the mood to play around with my clay. So I'm just going to randomly start trying to stack these together and pile them up and kind of see what I want to do with them. I really do appreciate y'all just letting me be creative and just make a mess with clay and just watching me do it. I super duper appreciate it. Well, I'm kind of putting it back together here, and I think I'll just settle with this. Basically, I'll just need to connect everything back together and roll it a little bit. And I'll start slicing off pieces. Random cat hair. I will be using my handy dandy mold to make little teardrop shapes. Basically just taking my clay and pressing it inside of the mold and then filling up the mold with clay. Cutting off any excess, making sure I fill up that mold. Press everything into place to get everything smooth, and then literally just pop it out. I made quite a few of these. This is the pattern that I will place on top of my black clay for my cuff bracelet. Just some more of the black clay that I rolled out. Just gonna lift that up and place that on the black clay. And you'll just want to cut off all of the excess. I'm going to use a mason jar. This one's roughly about the same size as my wrist. I do have very tiny wrists, but you can use anything that you have that you can wrap it around that you can place inside of the oven. This glass will do fine inside of my oven. Just going to press it gently onto the glass. This glass does have a pattern on it, but it actually leaves a really nice pattern on the clay once it's baked. After baking, just leave your clay attached to whatever surface you baked it on. And this way you can put a little bit of resin on there. And I have this little finger protector. Going to take some resin, just a little bit on the tip of my finger. And then just start rubbing it over the surface of my scrap clay. This way I can get it all over the domed surface and kind of around the edges without getting it on the black clay. I don't want the black clay to be shiny, just the scrap pieces. Once that's done, just let that cure for a good amount of time. And then you can remove it from your baked surface. And basically put whatever attachments you want on it. See, that's the really pretty pattern it came out with. Anyway, just attach any kind of string or wire that you want to wrap it around your wrist to keep it in place. And I did decide to smooth out the little pointed pieces with some sandpaper. All nice and smooth. Kind of has a gothic feel to it, I think. I'm going to drill holes into the sides of a piece, one on each side. And I'm going to use some of this magic stretch wire to connect my piece. That way I can have it tight around my wrist and it'll still have a little bit of give so I can get it on and off. Make sure you cut off enough to where you can tie your piece together. Just cut away any excess of your string. And it took me a few minutes to get my little knots in there. Wanted to make sure it was nice and tight. And this is my finished product. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, found something useful in it. I do hope to see you next Tuesday. And every other Tuesday. And of course, if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button, maybe liking or leaving me a comment. I do love reading the wonderful comments that my viewers leave me. As always, it's that time in the video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!